Why we ain't there yet. Now we are.
Here we go.
Here we are live.
I don't know why I wait till last minute.
I don't either. Every week. Same thing over and over.
Hello, this is your pilot speaking. We're currently taxiing out to the runway and getting ready for takeoff. I don't see any turbulence, and we should arrive at our destination safely and on time. Thank you for choosing the Automotive Edge Airways, and I hope you'll follow us and use our services again in the future.
Well. Hello. We got echo. Help me with the echo, Maddie.
She got it.
There we go.
She's on top of it.
Top of the morning.
The magnificent Maddie.
It's fixed.
The magnanimous Maddie.
Magnanimous.
Thanks so much for joining us here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Here live. Miss Maddie. Bo Carver, do you know where we are?
Well, let's see. The last
Between
GPS
Oklahoma and Nebraska?
surroundings that I had, I think I landed in McKinney, Texas, all the way from just South Oklahoma.
Yeah.
On the other side.
Yeah.
On the west side of 35 there. But, you know, what a great day. It's getting into the good time of the spring, and we're here live at El Dorado Chevrolet in McKinney, Texas. And we haven't been here in about 2 months, and we both kind of crawled in here today.
Yeah, we did. We're 380 and 75. It is the last day of the month. And if you're looking for a Chevrolet, there's no better place to find new roads than El Dorado Chevrolet in McKinney. $8,000 off before rebates. Just think about $8,000 off MSRP before rebates. So if you qualify for first responder, military, there's a bunch of rebates. College grad. My son came out here, and get this, he was, I think, 30 days past the deadline. It was like 2 years after he graduated. They sent the paperwork in to GM. You know what they said? Give him the rebate.
Hey, how about that?
So he had our fourth grandbaby and driving a brand new 2024 Equinox. $5,200 off before rebates. So you're looking to save money. Here's the big thing. Our moms and dads always told us when you drive off the lot, you lost 35% value. I don't know where they came up with that number, because I remember that conversation. My dad goes, well,
that was evangelistically speaking. They had to really make a big deal out of it.
And how they came up with 35%, I never knew. I was like, what are you buying?
Well, it's higher than 25.
Yeah.
You got to make it better now.
Yeah, just 35% you're in the toilet right when you drive off. Well, that's not true, but just think about that. Here's the thing. Your average vehicle across the board, we're talking about your standard full-line products, your Chevys, your Fords, your Dodges, your Toyotas, your Hondas, your Mazdas, Subarus. There's some cars at Volkswagen that only have $300 markup in it. By the time the dealer sells it, if they sold it as sticker, they're breaking even because the manufacturers have squeezed the frontline profit out of the dealers, and they're squeezing it more. We're going to be getting into that, where a lot of people think, there's $3,000, $4,000 markup in every car. There's just not. And so when you think $8,000 off when you drive off the lot, you're actually in an equity situation when you drive off the lot in a brand new Chevrolet from El Dorado Chevrolet in McKinney. You're in an equity situation when you drive off the lot. And let me clarify that, because there's always that one person that's going to call and wear me out or email me. If you're carrying negative equity, no, you're not. If you're carrying TTNL, you don't want to put any money down, you shrink that amount of equity you have when you're driving off the lot. So if you're rolling everything in, your tax, title, and license, documentary fee, vehicle inventory tax, road and bridge, you're adding window tint, you're adding wheel locks. Okay, well, that takes away from your equity when you're driving off the lot. But today, I'm telling you, the last day of the month, I'm here looking at the inventory. I would highly recommend come seeing us today at 380 and 75 in McKinney. El Dorado Chevrolet. Right next door, Justin Griffin is loaded up with pre-owned vehicles, certified pre-owned, as well as a good mixture of other lines of products. And then on the other side of Justin Griffin, we have our buddy Tommy Melton, new car director, El Dorado Mazda. Come out and drive the new CX-90. If you're looking for a people carrier for the summer, or maybe you don't need a big people carrier, you just need something that can haul all your luggage, you're going to be traveling around, come test drive the all-new Mazda CX-90. So you got 3-in-1, El Dorado Chevrolet, El Dorado Mazda, Justin Griffin, and pre-owned. Come on out. We're going to be here till the noon hour and save you a ton of money. I like money. You like money, Bo?
I like money, and this. I think they've got. I don't know. They may have some stuff here. This is Easter weekend, and we're smack right in the middle between the crucifixion and the resurrection.
That's
so
right.
Come out here and be a part of the celebration and get you an El Dorado Chevrolet or Mazda.
I bought 3 Corvettes here, and I'm sitting here looking at that red one on the showroom floor. I'm going, man, I can get myself in a lot of trouble. Problem is right now I couldn't get in or out. That's why I like my pickup truck. I can get in and out of it right now. But there's something here for everybody, from your commercial line to the all-new Chevy Trax. You back up a couple years ago, you look at the Chevy Trax, and it was ugly. I just tell you, it was ugly. Didn't like it, didn't care for it. Now this totally redesigned Chevy Trax. If they took Trax off the back of it, you wouldn't know what it was. That just tells you that it is totally redesigned. So there's a whole lot of that going on right now here at El Dorado Chevrolet. Make the appointment, 972-569-0101. That's 972-569-0101. Go online, eldoradochevy.com or eldoradomazda.com. Select one, then call in and go, hey, I just want to come out and test drive, because tire kickers are welcome. Jason Long, new car director here, he knows not everybody's ready to buy when they pull up, so they're going to give you the whole 9 yards of everything you want to know, want to see, want to do. So when you're ready to make that decision, they're ready for you. Because Jason Long says, what, Bo? What does he say, Bo?
Pressure makes diamonds.
Come on, Bo. What does Jason say?
Something about diamonds. No. Pressure makes diamonds, but not happy customers.
That's right. And that's the way they roll here at El Dorado Chevrolet. 380 and 75 in McKinney. And let me tell you, it's not too far. With all these tollways, the George Bush, the 121, you can get here quick. El Dorado Chevrolet in McKinney. So how's your week?
Everything's going good, and we seem to be rocking here this morning on Talk Radio 1190 AM KFXR, and we're here every Saturday morning, and we're here 8 to noon, 2 hours here on Talk Radio 1190, the iHeartMedia Network, from 8 to 10. Then we switched over to the sister station, 97.1 FM, The Freak, from 10 to noon. And guess where they can find us too? On Facebook. You can find us there. We do our live feed there every Saturday morning here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show Facebook page, Shifting Gears Facebook page, and just recently added YouTube. So if you know some friends and neighbors out there that doesn't do the Facebook, the social media type of thing, tell them to go to YouTube, look, search the Automotive Edge Radio Show, and bada bing, bada bang, there we are. And we got a lot of people tuned in already. We've got Rick Wick, we got Will Sakala, Ty Gentman. They're all saying good morning to us, and we want to thank y'all for doing that.
Well, Rick, you need to stay tuned in here, buddy, because we have a surprise guest, and you know him well, coming up here at the bottom of the hour. So we got somebody to say hello to you, and he was one of your previous employees. So be sure to stay tuned in for that. Will Sakala.
They're doing the ring ceremony for the Rangers today, so
yes,
that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Dag Greg. He's morning guys from San Antonio. How about that?
Hey, buddy, thanks for joining us. And
appreciate it.
The mayor of Quail Valley, Felix.
The mayor.
The mayor is
I'm sure he's going to correct me at doing something for the day. So.
I want to thank Felix. He knew that I needed help the other day and jumped in. We had to haul a bunch of vehicles out of the Irving Convention Center, and he helped us out. Almost wrecked one of them. This guy came around the corner and cut him off. Oh, Felix didn't like that. And I had to remind him it wasn't our car he was in. But he'd have been in his truck, that guy would have got
been in
hit.
trouble, right?
Oh, it'd have been ugly.
Well, we got a lot of people tuned in. We do appreciate that. We're rocking this morning with a lot of folk dialed into us. And share the word, like and share. And the best way to do that is if you're tuned into the show and you've actually dialed into us. And Melinda Chase, good morning to you too, my sister, my beautiful sister. And I feel bad for you having to take care of Kurt. But other than that, if you want to share the show, just there's a little white arrow at the top left-hand corner. Just hit that, back out. You'll see us. But you hit that share button down at the bottom of that, then come back on, and people will maybe like what we have to say. If they don't have to tune in. But we do appreciate if you do that, like and share our broadcast.
No doubt about it. Phone lines are open, 214-787-1190. If you got a question about where to go, who to see, what to do, what to buy, what my thoughts are on it, 214-787-1190. And I want to remind everybody, I got some emails. And there's some people, they just put way too much Haterade in their coffee.
Of course they
Way
do.
too much Haterade in their coffee in the morning, complaining about, well, I think you're wrong about this vehicle. Well, let me tell you, I will give you the true specs, but then I will give you my opinion on what I thought. It's just an opinion. The big thing is go drive the vehicles. Put your butt in the seat and spend a good 45 minutes to an hour. Take one home, put it in the garage, and really drive in the conditions you're normally used to driving, and don't worry about my opinion, but I will tell you the facts of the vehicle. So I want to clarify that. And for you that put 3 tablespoons of Haterade in your coffee, go to one. Go to one. Just back it off. Be happy. It's Easter weekend. 214-787-1190. We're going to take a quick break. Follow us on the
Automotive Edge Radio Facebook
page, YouTube.
Yeah, shifting gears. Even our personal pages, we've shared it there. So
5 different ways to tune in today on the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
All right, everybody on Facebook, we are rocking this morning, Brother Kurt. And I limped into the studio a few times since Christmas, and now Kurt's limping in.
I ain't limping. I get up. I'm Jack LaLanne, baby. I'll get up and fire up some
all right, let's
jumping
see it.
jack.
Come on.
I don't want to.
I want to see
I
it.
don't want to right now.
Felix says he loves that Superman actor trying to pull this on it. Oh, that's awesome. Lori K. Barnett. Wow, tuning in. She'll be here. I'm guessing she'll be here this morning. She.
Will Gerald.
Good morning to you, Lori.
We had a bad accident in our home, and I have fractured my L1 and L2 vertebrae, and I'm in a brace right now, and I should not be here, but we are here, and I am so sick of being home. I think I've been watched every freaking show in the world, and so I put my brace on, nice, snug, and tight, and came to do my show. So,
okay,
Kurt, like to see you doing jumping jacks, buddy. I can out jumping jacks you any day of the way there. Rick.
He's talking that smack now because you're down in Houston. Drive on up here right now and get him. Come on, Rick.
He can probably beat me in a round of golf, but that's it.
Listen, it's only a 3-hour trip, and we're here till noon, so I think you can get here about the time.
Hey, here's Rick Wick. I'm gonna do an impersonation of Rick Wick. You ready?
Uh-oh.
So we would have a question for Rick. He'd be in his office, or maybe we didn't agree with it, and we'd say, "Hey, Rick, blah blah blah," and he would go. He'd put his business card right in front of you to let you know that he was the general manager, and he wouldn't even speak to you. He wouldn't say a word. He'd just go. And so the last time that he used to manage, general manager of a classic Mazda, I went up there and I said, "Hey, does Rick ever do the business card?" They all started laughing.
So they knew.
He's a hoot.
And so, Gerald, if you still have your question, you're more than welcome to call in 214-787-1190 or ask it here on the live feed comment, and we'll see if we can't get to it.
Hey, Rick, did you see what Tom Hammond just put up? It said, ask Rick Wick if he has ever hit a 400-yard tee shot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me tell you, Rick. Now, Tom Hammond just put that question up. You know why he did? Because Kurt hit a 400-yard tee shot.
Not recently.
No, well, not since I've been injured, but I hit a little over 400 yards.
Were you using a baseball bat?
No, sir. I got up there and I cranked one, and Tom Hammond was at the hole and almost drove the entire par 4. So that was my claim to fame. But Rick's a good golfer. I could never beat Rick. Rick is a good golfer, no doubt about it. But it's really cool because now he's down there with his beautiful daughter Lauren and his grandkiddos, his lovely wife and Karen, and living the dream, because he put in the hours. He played by the rules, did things fair and square, and now he's enjoying retirement with his family. So anyway.
Todd Jemman says, hey, Kurt, there's a better way to get attention. He says, let us know if he can help you anyway.
Who?
Todd Jemman. All right, we got about 20 days for him to get well because we'll be out there.
I'll be out there. Rain, sleet, or snow, I will be out there. In fact,
we'll have him in a walker.
See there? I got it.
You got it. Thanks to pharmaceuticals. We're having a good day here with Kurt Chase.
Well, I haven't started taking them yet. I've got them right here. We'll just see if the pain kicks in.
And Gerald, if you want to, or you can go to theautomotiveedge.com, and I've got it on the screen here. It's theautomotiveedge.com, and then click on Ask Kurt, and then put your name and phone number down. If you don't have a phone number, then he can text you back or email you back. Put your email in there, and he'll get back with you, or you can ask a question here online if you want. Ryan Weiss, hey guys, sitting on the dock up on Lake Texoma trying to catch some fish out there.
Good for you,
well,
Ron.
maybe tune in the show, turn it up, and maybe those fish will come right to you and jump right in the boat.
There you go. I can't say my mom's
what?
She has how many times I said or last week. And I thought it was a pre-recorded show because I hurt myself. And
did you count while you were listening?
I don't listen to my show. I can't. When I'm driving along and I hear my commercials, I turn it off. I can't do it.
Why you do so many then?
I just can't. I can't hear myself doing commercials. I got some buddies in radio. They turn it up when they hear themselves. They think, they're the gift to radio. For me, I'm the opposite.
Well,
I can't.
I don't have any commercials, so I don't have to worry about turning myself up.
I hear you. Hey, come on out and see us, Eldorado Chevrolet, 380 and 75 in McKinney. And we would love to meet you, say hello, and introduce you to the great folks out here at Eldorado Chevrolet, 380 and 75 in McKinney. So, over the last 3 months, I have got the dirtiest, nastiest, filthiest emails ever. And I keep telling people, if you don't have any, what did your parents say? If you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all.
Right, exactly.
I don't have a problem, and I want to be very, very open about this. I do not have a problem with electric cars. I don't. I have a problem they're being mandated. I have a problem that they're even building them right now. I have a problem with
the fact there's a lot of issues around them from, where to charge them, how to charge them, how long they last, and things like that.
Well, my bigger problem is you and I are paying for electric cars on the road, and we don't get to drive them.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing, isn't it?
So the economy is, what, 35 trillion in debt.
I think they just passed another $1.5 trillion bill.
And we're giving people $7,500 to drive an electric car.
That won't last long.
That just blows me away, that they have credits. And so people say, the government's giving you $7,500. The government isn't giving you crap. We're giving you, we the people are financing your electric vehicles. Remember that. We the people are financing electrification. What does that tell you? It tells you that we have the wrong people in office. We have too many wackadoodle-doos trying to tell us what we should drive, what we should eat, where we should go, how we should do it, how we should dress, how we should cut our hair. It is ridiculous. We should stand up and go, That's what's great about what's coming up here in November. Vote the right people in and hold them accountable. We should not be paying when the government is broke for people to drive electric vehicles. With that being said, I have driven every electric vehicle that's available to drive, and I enjoy the heck out of driving them. When I drove that Hummer, 10,000 pounds, 1,000 horsepower, 1,000 pounds of torque, I was blown away by the technology and how they did it. The other day I drove the Cybertruck. I thought it's the ugliest vehicle on the road.
We saw one the other day around Ponder.
Yeah, but the technology internally is unbelievable. And the acceleration, the handling, he had a level 3. So level 1 is 1 battery, level 2 is 2, level 3 is 3. And this thing would run like a wild banshee.
Is that what gives you more horsepower and
Yeah.
towing power is the battery?
And longer distance, longer range.
Right. Okay, I got you.
And so I enjoyed it. I enjoyed everything about it. The Cybertruck, the Hummer, the Ford Lightning, all the way to, the Chevy Bolt.
Well, you like the from Jesse's place. What is it?
The EV6.
The EV6.
And now they got the EV9.
Right.
Now they have the EV4 coming out, which is a smaller one. And I enjoy these. He brought one to the house, and he gets out of the vehicle, and he goes, check this out. And our previous house, we had this long driveway. He's got his remote control driving the car down my driveway. I'm like, what a deal. So the technology and everything is absolutely fantastic. But here's the thing. Nobody understands that electrification will be worse for our climate. All of you people that are been put into this Al Gore hoax that there's all this climate problems and trouble, which is all a bull-faced lie. Without CO2, guess what? The plants die and we die. Think about that. But there's more waste going to be created with electrification and pollution than with ICE cars, internal combustion engines. Fact. I had a guy, and I said, here's the deal. I'm going to ask you some questions, and if you can answer, and I'll give you 4 I don't knows, then you tell me how electrification is going to work better. He goes, deal. He said, you want to put a wager on it? I said, yeah. I said, a 6-pack of Dr. Pepper Zero. He said, no, I mean money. I said, well, I'm not going to bet you any money. I'll take your money. You're going to lose anyway, but how about a 6-pack of Dr. Pepper Zero? He goes, great. I said, let me ask you a question. How much ground do you have to dig up to build one battery for any electric car? How much ground does it take digging it up to get out all of the different nickels and coppers and palladiums, caladiums, and everything that's needed to put a battery together? His answer was?
I don't know.
Okay, so that was one.
Yeah, I figured that's coming.
Yep. I said, how many?
Remember
how
the
many,
show where they do?
That's right. How many batteries does it take and the weight of the batteries to run an 18-wheeler? That would be correct. It's 3 8,000-pound batteries. On some, it's 4. So it's 32,000 pounds, which takes away the weight of the vehicle, their distribution, which is going to raise the cost of goods. Okay. Question number 3. Are the tires lighter or heavier on an electric vehicle? I don't know. And I said, well, think about this. When your tires wear down and you have all of the products that are inside the tire, it's not rubber. It's not 100% rubber. Where do all those particles and everything go?
Was that the 4th question?
That was number 3.
Oh, okay.
And so I said, so you have a heavier tire, which means that there's more particles and more stuff in the tires being dispersed all over, twice as much as a regular tire. What is the most polluting part between ice and electric? Question number 4, because you're 0 for 3 now. Now he's mad. He's letting me have it. I said, okay, question number 4. What demand is there on an electric vehicle getting it processed versus demand on processing a gas car? I don't know what you're saying. Okay. How much earth do you got to dig up to build an electric vehicle? Don't know. Okay. So you dig it up with cranes. You put it on the back of a dump truck. Then you take it to the train. The train takes and put it on another dump truck. The next dump truck takes it to the factory that's burning what? And then process it to another battery. And then all the excess goes where? He goes, you just hate electric vehicles. No, hang on a second. That would be number 4. You owe me a 6-pack of Dr. Pepper Zero. So the thing about it is, Is electrification a bad thing? Well, they weren't ready for it. Now they're mandating it. And you got all the wackadoodle-doos out in California, Washington, Oregon, I believe Nevada, where in 2025, ICE cars are order only. I'm like, what are you people thinking? Do you understand how much earth will have to be dug up?
Well, maybe they'll do all that
batteries?
Maybe they'll do all that digging out there and La La Land out in California, and there won't be nothing left. There won't be any land left.
I'm just going, think about it. And here's the thing. If it was your business, which business model would you go with? And when you break it all down, guess what? You have to go with combustion engines. Do you know how much the dealers are making per electric vehicle when they sell one across the board?
I don't even know that.
Yes. Just throw a number out there. Let's say a $60,000 electric car. How much money do they make on it?
I'd say they're probably making maybe 10%, 5%.
How about negative $9,000?
Oh, wow.
To sell an electric vehicle in today's market. Your lower end, they're losing $6,000 a vehicle to sell it. So how well is this working, putting the cart before the horse? And that's my whole point. Is electrification down the road something they could work out? Yeah, it should be about 1% of the market right now. No doubt about it. Because here's the thing. The government has put hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars in it. And guess what?
It's failing.
The day supply has gone through the roof. There's thousands and thousands of electric vehicles the dealers are not wanting or accepting.
Well, Rick Wick says, and who just retired from being in the automobile business for 50 years?
Yep.
He said, Tesla want to trade in your car and see how much you like it.
Yeah.
They don't want them.
They don't want them. I had a buddy that called, and I'm glad that Rick made that point. I had a guy call me up, and he goes, I hate your sponsor. I said, why do you hate him? He goes, he won't take my Tesla. I said, I wouldn't take it either. I said, why don't you go over there to Mockingbird and Inwood and tell them that you want to trade in there with them and see what they tell you. And so I haven't heard from him. Crickets. So here's the thing. What would you think if the government said everybody has to eat meatloaf on Mondays and fish on Tuesdays and chicken on Wednesdays?
Well, we're getting close to that already, aren't we?
I mean, come on. Let the market design the market. If people want to buy it, they buy it. If people don't want to buy it, they won't buy it. And then you will know, just like every car that's ever been built, if people don't buy it, guess what? The manufacturers put on these massive rebates, they get rid of it, and they come out with another
Isn't
product.
that with any kind of anything, TV, furniture, clothes? I mean, I went into Academy the other day, and there was a particular type of shirt that was there, and there was none of them selling. And it was weird because it has some little zipper pocket right here. And they just couldn't sell any of them.
Yeah.
And they were there in all colors and down to nothing price-wise. And that just shows you, if people don't like it or they don't want it, they're not going to buy it.
That's right.
But you have to explain to them why the push, what happened with the manufacturers, why they had to do that, because mainly around cafe, right?
Well, yeah, the cafe was raised. They wanted
Explain to them what that is too.
54 miles to the gallon average, and cafe is corporate average fuel economy. So if you took all the Chevrolets and you put them together, they want them to average 54.5 miles to the gallon.
And what better way to try to do that is have some EV vehicles.
And so let's go hybrid. Let's go diesel. Let's go hybrid diesel. There's so many other ways to do this progressively without losing billions of American dollars. That's what's happening. Because guess where all this, the cobalt and the copper and all this, guess where it's coming from?
Probably from us.
China.
Oh, even worse.
China. And so guess what? They took away, there was 43 cars. Now we're down to 18 because good old Uncle Joe says we're taking away all the tax credits if it's
30 seconds.
processed in China. Yahoo for Cocoa Puffs. Let's vote in the right people and turn this thing around. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Rick Wick, I got a big surprise for you coming up here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show on 1190 KFXR, part of the iHeartMedia Network. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I think Gerald Wade wants us on all day on Saturdays.
Yeah.
We're going to get dialed in with our special guest. And so we're going to be moving around a little bit. So you go ahead and keep your same headset. There you go. Get in here close, brother. I may have to back that. Camera back a little bit. Just see what you got. Put your mouthpiece on you. See how you have to have it close like that? Yeah, hold on. There, get you dialed in. All right, do a little talking.
All right, there you go. Is that it?
You good?
That worked? That's it?
There you go.
Good deal.
All right, I'll adjust it in as we go in and out,
Okay.
maybe. I'm probably going to have to back up that camera a little bit.
Oh, thanks.
Look at that screen and see how we're getting better on those chairs.
It looks okay.
That looks pretty good?
Yeah.
How do you look?
And the answer is,
yeah. Kurt, when you get in, make sure you move the chair in. You're all right. You're good. You can come over me a little more.
all right. All right. Squeeze in here pretty tight.
Yeah. But with that good. And here we are, getting ready to do a little slam dunking. Did you give me this?
I sure did.
Man, how sweet is that?
That worked for you?
Love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. They'll keep that before they'll keep a business card.
That's true. And how about that? Pretty sweet, huh?
Yeah, I wasn't going to give you one. Harmon told me to.
I think he just ignored you anyway and gave it to me anyhow. Kurt, come on in a little bit more.
Harmon, tell him who I am, what my real title is.
Your real title?
Mm-hmm.
I know what it is. No.
I forgot.
The Horse Whisperer.
There he is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We heard about that story.
I tell him the story about Diego. Nobody could get near
You do
Diego
that,
like me.
You do that real good.
Tells that story really good.
I hadn't talked to Harmon in a long time, and I get this phone call, and he goes, Gert, it's Diego.
Oh, that's funny.
I started laughing. I went, "There, my buddy." I remember his wife freaked out when she saw me in that stall. She goes, Kurt, back out slowly. Get away from that horse. No, we're buddy.
And Rick Wick says, oh, my God, blast from the past.
We would like to take this time to say thank you for flying with us today here on the AutomotiveEdge.com Flight 101. Please extinguish all cigarettes and cigars. Place your seats in the upright position and fasten your seatbelts. Please do not try to exit through the exit door.
3, 2, 1.
Warning. The information heard here on the Automotive Edge radio show may lead you to find a wealth of knowledge that could possibly save you time and money. If any of this information causes you to be bothered or upset, please sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and seek immediate help. And now, here's your host of the Automotive Edge radio show, Kurt Chase.
Well, here we go. A half an hour has flown by. It's the Automotive Edge Radio Show today, live, El Dorado Chevrolet, 380 and 75. Find new roads today in a new Chevrolet from El Dorado Chevrolet. $8,000 off their Chevy Silverados before rebates. $5,200 off their Chevy Equinox, the brand new hottest seller. $5,200 off before rebates and a whole lot more. 1.9 financing for 72 months. You get both those with the $8,000 off on a Chevy Silverado. So when you drive over the curb, you're sitting pretty. Never before in the history of the auto industry have we seen deals like this where you get to leave the lot with an equity situation. But the place to do it, El Dorado Chevrolet. Go to ElDoradoChevy.com, pick one out. Let's give Jason Long a call, get the car ready to go, and enjoy the best way to own a new Chevrolet. El Dorado Chevrolet, 380 and 75 in McKinney. Want to say good morning to James, and I'm sure if James is on, then Mom's on. And happy Easter, Mom. I love you. James, I love you. And I'm trying to think of the girl's name he's married to. Oh, that'd be my sister, Lil. Happy Easter. Love all of you. Joining us one of my dear friends for a very, very long time, Harmon Robinson. And to go back, I met Harmon Robinson when I was new car director at Jim McNatt. And Harmon stopped by, and before Harmon got there was this guy there named Tracy. And I was going to kill that little dude. I was going to kill him. And he was the parts manager. And finally, him and I had a Sunday go to meeting, and I understood exactly how Tracy was wired. I figured that out. And I was like, who raised this kid? Well, lo and behold, here comes the daddy. And wound up being our used car manager there at Jim McNatt Toyota, which is no longer. Jim sold the operation, but we became good friends. And then lo and behold, Rick Wick, who's joined us on the live feed, was our boss, our general manager there at the dealership. And put that right, you're going to need to put that right up to your
Right
chops.
up here, right
there you go. And so Harmon and I have known each other for a long time. You've heard of whispers. I am the official horse whisperer, correct, Harmon?
Very much so.
I mean,
He listened to you really good.
He did. My favorite horse. It used to be Fury and then Mr. Ed, but then it became Diego.
That's right.
Diego and I came good. So I wanted to bring Harmon on. Not only does Harmon know a lot about the auto industry, because he stayed with it a long time, because you wound up over at Utter for a while.
Yeah.
And been just stuck with it. And then your son's still in the auto industry, but in a different way. He does restoration and rebuilds and brings cars from the graveyard to the show.
That's right. He does.
And then Harmon, one thing that I always tell people, the biggest purchase you're going to make in your life is going to be your home. Next is going to be your car. And when I found out what Harmon was doing, there's so many people that are in a bad predicament with their homes right now because, over the last 3 years, you way overpaid for your home.
True.
And now the mortgage rates are horrible, and there's a lot of people in trouble. And before you think that you have to throw in the towel and walk away, this is a great time to get in contact with you.
It is. Very good time. Perfect time.
And talk about your main focus and area, because here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show, we're here to help consumers. We want to make sure that you get the best possible way in and the best possible way out, and you understand the financing. I have some people that go, I'm underwater, I'm just going to turn the car in. Well, then I turn them on to leasing and some other products that are available to them where you just don't have to surrender that automobile and destroy your credit, where you've got a lot of people that you can help with their home where they don't have to be kicked out of their home and destroy their credit.
That's right. That's right. Foreclosures are hitting really a big time right now, and it's trying to get a hold of them and get them to talk to you about how to get in, how to handle that situation is really tough.
Yeah.
They're embarrassed about it. They're afraid to talk to somebody because they're getting bombarded by calls about buying their home cheap.
Who can you trust?
Yeah, who can you trust? And so they'll just go walk in a hole and zip it up and won't even talk to anybody. And
Are you okay if I put your information out? Your phone number?
Absolutely.
And all that
Absolutely.
other stuff over
You
here?
talk about pretty people. One just showed up at the dealership here. That's a pretty man right there.
If you'd like to find out his information, you can go to the Automotive Edge Facebook radio show page and get that on our YouTube. You can go to the Automotive Edge radio show on YouTube, and you'll see I'm going to pop it up, all that data right now. I have it on his pen.
Okay. So talk about some of the situations that you really enjoy handling where the biggest amount of satisfaction between you and the consumer fall into place.
Just had a lady, she was 75 years old, was posted for foreclosure back in December. And so I sent her 2 letters, didn't get any response. Tried to call her, she didn't get any response. So I went and knocked on her door. And she came to the door and kind of cracked it open a little bit, and I introduced myself, and I told her, I understand that you've been having to lose your home possibly. And she said, yeah. I said, well, I've got some options for you if you're interested in listening to them. So we built a little rapport over the next couple of weeks, and finally she invited me in the house on a couple of Saturdays, and we went over that. So anyway, bottom line, it's been 3 months, I've been working with her. We finally got her closed Thursday.
Wow.
And she saved half of her equity. She's going to have to move, but we've given her 6 weeks to move out. She'd get about $150,000 in her equity, pretty close to it. And she doesn't lose 200 points on her credit report. Wow. Perfect deal. Perfect deal.
Yeah, a lot of people think there's no way just hand over the keys. Like in the old days in repossession, they just pulled up and handed them the keys and walked away. There are ways out.
There are other ways. As a matter of fact, loan modifications are big time right now.
And what does that mean, loan modification?
You go to your lender and ask them to re-amortize the loan for a period of time to get your current payments back current up. And once you can do that, that can gives you two options. You can do that and get those payments to where you can make them over anywhere up to 36 months. They're a little bit higher, but you may have come into some money or be able to do that. The other option is that gives you time to get your house in a saleable condition. And with that, then you go ahead and you can list it with your agent or with someone that's, pretty familiar with that process and come out of it with some money. And you may not be able to keep your house, but at least you can keep your equity. And some of these people have $800,000, $900,000 in equity, and they just walk away because they don't know what way to go.
Wow.
It's really crazy.
Well, same thing in a way. So many people, their lease come to an end. And when COVID hit, my average person that was turning in a lease had $6,000, $7,000 equity. And they're just fixing to hand the keys and walk away.
We don't have to do that.
And I'm like, hang on, let's appraise it. And so I call one guy, he goes, wait a minute. You mean to tell me in this lease vehicle, I can go to the dealer and get $6,000? Well, yeah, you sure can. No doubt about it. Same thing on a home is to find out what is the real value, because the bank wants the house back. Now they have all this equity and they get to make 5 times the amount of money they ever made. So if you got $600,000 or just say $100,000 equity in that home and they turn around and sell it for as high as homes are going and higher the rate is, man, they're making a killing on that deal where you could actually walk away with money in the pocket.
Well, see, this lady had been in her house for 29 years and 10 months. It was going to be 2 months it would have been paid for had she not had a stroke and gotten sick. And to walk away from a 30-year mortgage that's almost paid for, it's just insane.
Wow.
Insane.
Wow.
So we were able to save that for her, and she's walking away really with a pocket full of money.
There you go.
Rick Wick says, hello, Harmon.
Hey, Rick, how are you?
He's doing good. He's just doing that retirement thing down there in Houston and loving life right now.
I'll tell you.
He doesn't have to worry about money. Rick's, as tight as Rick is, squeaky Ricky,
I'm telling you.
I guarantee you, he got more money. I mean, I invited him to do the show, but he said his helicopter was being repaired.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, so he couldn't get up here, but he sold the jet. I guess the new one's being built. And then he's got that helicopter, I bet you him and Trump have lunch. They just meet in helicopter somewhere.
Most likely.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 214-787-1190 if you got a question for Harmon, 214-787-1190, or how can they get in touch with you?
Just call me or email me or text me. It doesn't matter. However, you go on my website.
Well, we've just posted it up here on Facebook, and you can see it. It's 214-674-8388. That's 214-674-8388, or it's HWR1945@yahoo.com.
That's correct.
It's here on the live feed. You can get us on the Automotive Edge Facebook page, my Facebook page, Bo's Facebook page, Shifting Gears,
and
or
YouTube.
So there's a bunch of ways to find out. We're going to take a quick break, pay some bills, introduce you to some great sponsors. 214-787-1190. Quick break. We'll be right back.
That's a great picture you got there, man. How long did it take you to get that? Oh, keep your headset on. We're still live on Facebook.
Okay.
So let's keep talking.
Yeah.
Just so what you cover every place in Texas, or where's your main?
Well, I'm licensed in Texas,
right?
But my main is in the North Texas area.
Okay.
Denton, Dallas, Tarrant, Wise, Collin,
all
that
Ponder,
stuff.
Justin.
And it's not just single family homes. I'll do property management. I used to manage about 950 units, apartment units.
Oh, well, there you go.
Back in the day, and that's a time
effort.
Yeah, it is.
Gotcha.
I do commercial. I can do land. I've had a ranch myself.
Okay,
with horses and stuff. So
get involved in that.
Get involved in that. You bet.
Buying,
you bet.
help people find property and stuff.
Yep, I sure can.
Well, that's fantastic. And we're almost neighbors.
Pretty close.
You live in Sanger, I live in Ponder, and so we go up to the little steakhouse on occasions and eat, and they have tremendous. We go there during the lunchtime.
You're talking about trail dust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And for $10, you can get like a 6-ounce fillet with a baked potato and a salad.
You walk away completely satisfied.
How many times you gone there during lunchtime?
Quite a bit. Quite a bit. Because I'm about 2 minutes away.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah.
we love going up there, during the course. My wife's a nurse, so she can't always do it. But when she gets off early or has a day off, first thing we think of, hey, it's time to go to Sanger up there.
Yeah, we get through with the chamber meetings, and then we'll mosey on over to the Trail Dust and have lunch,
Well, you can't beat it for the price,
That's
can you?
right, you
And
can't.
those steaks are unbelievable for that special they have. It's a 6 ounce, but
Yeah.
still plenty for me.
Oh, their chicken fried steaks are that big.
I
Take up
know.
the whole plate.
I know.
I can't eat it all.
Yeah, we're going to send them a bill for this ad, aren't we?
You think so?
Just
maybe a free lunch or something.
Yeah,
I
there you
can't
go.
tell.
Well, I know one thing. We enjoy going up there. We used to live in an RV up there. We talked about it earlier, and we loved living up there. Of course, McLean's bought
Yeah.
the whole property now and
Yeah.
tore down everything that was up there. They had a big fancy building. It was a great way to live. Where they had that set up. They had places where you could have parties and different things. They had an indoor area for ping pong and pool tables,
Right.
and they had a swimming pool, and just had all this great ways up there. And then a par 3 golf course, 9-hole.
Really?
I played that sucker every day.
Wow,
It's fun.
it is.
Then McLean's came in there, and
They did.
Now they're selling you what, $2 million
I'll
motorhomes.
tell you what, there's a lot of stuff that's going on up there right now. They're widening 35 all the way up to Red River.
And why
Sure,
is it so trafficy going up through there nowadays?
Well,
Going,
they got constantly going on with some redos on the
of
highway.
course, Windstar's there, so
Yeah, that's
everybody's
right.
headed that way, especially on afternoon
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah,
Hey, I got paid. It's time for Windstar, right?
That's right. Go up there on the weekend and let it go.
It's fun times though. But yeah, it's really, this whole North Texas area has boomed.
It's booming.
Unbelievable.
It's one of the fastest growers area in the country right now.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, my little town of Ponder is just unbelievable. They've built a new high school, and they say it's already going to be too small.
You can't find a vacant lot in Denton anymore. They're building on it.
Well, they can't. They're having a hard time with Ponder too. That's it, unless you find somebody
Yeah.
willing to sell.
Wow. Yeah.
But all those properties are being taken. Don Carlnia says, "Love, peace, and soul."
Even with a body brace on, I can still move and groove. There's something about disco music and dancing that I don't care what shape I'm in. If I can wiggle my toes, I'm wiggling my toes. I love dance music. Just love it. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Edge radio show. If you need help on where to go, who to see, what to do, what to buy, what we like and don't like. But here's the thing. There's some products out there that I just don't like. I mean, I don't like. There's some products out there I don't know that I have a worse friend. Maybe an ex that I'd put them in. No, I wouldn't do that either. That you need to take a look at. Drive everything. I had a friend that was talking to me. He goes, I want a big sedan. Nobody makes a big sedan anymore. If it is a big sedan, it's over $75,000. I said, have you driven a Chevy Malibu? He goes, one of them rent cars? I went, wow, that's okay. I get it. I said, but here, let me have you go and meet the folks out at El Dorado Chevrolet. He called me up. I said, what's going on? And he was laughing. He goes, are you at home? I said, yeah. He pulled up and guess what he was sitting in?
The Malibu.
A brand new Malibu.
Yeah.
He goes, I would have never thought. And I said, let me just tell you, my son bought a Malibu right out of college, and he was in a horrible car accident. Took the whole front end off. And if he hadn't have been in that size car, my son might not be here. And it's amazing how well that guy walked away, both of them, after he hit that car at 55 miles an hour texting and took out the whole front end of that car. Didn't break any of the glass, and Zach walked away, and I pulled up. I see the ambulance and the fire truck, and the guy goes, you need to go over here. I'm like, BS, that's my son's car. Oh, sir, come on over here. And I'm like, I can't see Zachary. I'm in a panic. I see the ambulance. I'm freaking out. And he goes, hey, Dad, could you grab my golf clubs? I went, here I am in tears, and I'm over hugging. He's like, Dad, come on, it's okay.
He was crying over his golf clubs.
He was worried about it if his driver got bent or something, But what you think used to be whatever, and it's still out there, it has been refined and redesigned, and it is a complete different vehicle. You're going to be real surprised. The new Chevy Trax, and I said this earlier a couple of years ago, has an ugly rig. It's just ugly. Now, if they didn't put Trax on the back of it, you wouldn't know it was a Trax. They have totally redesigned this thing. Very affordable, great gas mileage, and safe. So just come out and test drive and take a look. So if it's not that, you got the Blazer, the Trailblazer, the Tahoe, the Suburban, the Equinox, the Silverado, the Camaro, the Corvette. There is plenty of product here. And if you're a business owner, the folks out here got plenty of commercial inventory as well. The place, El Dorado Chevrolet, 380 and 75. And if you're really in the Easter spirit, you can buy me this red Corvette sitting on the showroom floor. If you're feeling it. I'm just saying, if you go, wow, I'd like to spend $118,000 and buy Kurt this red Corvette, come on up and buy it for me. I will, even though I'm in a brace and I can't move that well, I'll figure out a way to park my butt in that car and get it home. I promise you. 214-787-1190. Joining me, and the great one, Big Wheeled Bo Carver, my good friend Harmon Robinson. And I just want you to know that you have an advocate on your side. There's so many people out there that actually show up to say they're going to help, but they have intentions of grandeur and getting something out of it.
Oh, I'll tell you.
And when I started researching a little bit about what you do, I started making some phone calls, and they said, sad part is a lot of people that go out there to say they're there to help, and they don't help. They get their hands in the cookie jar because they got a buyer for the house. They can do a cheap sale on it. They lose all their equity, but they tell them they're there to help.
Right.
And they're not there to help.
No, they're not.
And so how did you fall in this? What bell went off to go, you know what? I think I have an area where people are going to need help, and I'm going to step up in there.
Well, I went into looking at dealing in sheriff sales, which is really tax foreclosures. And I got in there looking at the actual foreclosures on mortgages, and they're rising. Every month they're rising. Here in Denton County, just last month, we've got about 40 that were in Denton County that were going to foreclosure, and that'll be on the 2nd of this month, of April.
How many?
40.
Wow.
In Denton County alone. And they're climbing every month. And so my thinking was, and I got to look, and a lot of these people, and it shows it on the report that you get, how much equity they have. Possible equity based on the price of the home that's valued at right now and what they owe on it. And it's ranging from 200 grand up. And they're just walking away from this because they either don't know who to talk to, or they're afraid to talk to somebody, or somebody's going to try to get in their pocket. So that just encouraged me to go ahead and try to be helpful in some way. And I don't make any money out of that, helping people that way. The only way I do it is if they decide they want to sell it, then they can list it with me if they want to. If they don't, that's okay. I still walk away without anything.
No doubt about it.
Well, you walk away with something. I promise you that.
Yeah.
You
They usually will refer me to someone.
Well, you walk away with a good heart and a blessing.
Yeah,
Yeah, there are some people out there that the word help is still a warm and fuzzy. It doesn't have to be a financial thing.
Right.
So can you walk us through about how that works?
We got to take a break.
Oh, we do?
214-787-1190. Don't go away. Quick break. Introduce you to sponsors. We'll be right back.
So when we come back, to walk us through how that works.
Yeah.
If somebody just went into foreclosure, and how you can help
I'll walk
them.
you through it.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And Facebook, thanks for being a part of our broadcast today. We got a lot of people still tuned in and being a part of that, and see how we're doing this here. If you had a cell phone, you could dial in and see what's going on. See what's up. See how you got your information there and how good you look.
So you want to grow like me?
I know. Rick Wick says he wants to grow up like him.
I'll tell you, Rick, I wouldn't even think about retiring because I like moving around too much.
Yeah.
My mother always told me, if you don't use it, you lose it.
That's right.
And I don't want to lose it.
That's
Well,
right.
isn't that the complaint of people that back in our earlier days that would retire and they just sit on their behindies and they wouldn't last very much longer?
Yeah.
It's you got to stay moving. You got to stay going. I mean, even like Kurt with his, fractured back, doctor says you got to move.
Yeah.
You got to move, and not to sit around and do nothing. You got to get.
You remember in the old days, they said just sit around and let it heal.
Well,
Right.
Rick probably goes out on the golf court and does his moving around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he had, I think, had his knees replaced, I believe. I'm sure it was his hip or his knees. And I went up there, and I never figured out why. He's always gimping and limping around, and all of a sudden he's got a stroll on him, and I think it was his knees he had replaced. And it's amazing that the day of the surgery, they get you out of bed.
Yeah, they do.
They want you moving.
Well, one thing too is a lot of the surgeries are more microscopic, so they don't have to really do a big slice on you to where that's what you had to recover from more than the getting up and walking. They wanted you to do that after the
the hip and knee replacement. That's wide open.
That's a cut open. Not sure.
My son, I want to say, had the right knee replaced. And I tell you what, I saw him shortly after he had the knee replaced when they were sponsoring the show, and I was shocked how well he was moving and grooving. My son tore his ACL and meniscus, and we got home that night from the surgery, and the nurse came over and brought that machine that moves your leg back and forth, and Zach goes, strap me in. I was like, buddy, you just had surgery. And the nurse goes, strap him in. And I was blown away how many tears were coming out of his eye, but he had that leg moving. Day number 2, he was off hydrocodone and icing and getting in that machine and working it. And next thing you know, him and I I'd lay there on the carpet and exercise with him every day, and he cut his recovery time, by 90 days.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, Rick Wick probably had a bad knee from kicking all the salespeople's butt.
Well,
Get out there
where he hurt his knee is when Anthony Salas chased him with that snake.
Oh, that's
I didn't know Rick could run across 380 that fast.
Yeah.
Anthony found that big old snake underneath that hood, and Rick told him one time, and here comes Anthony with that snake, and I didn't know Rick could move that quick. You talk about a man that has a fear of snakes. It reminded me of that movie with Snakes on the Plane or whatever it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
With
I don't like snakes either.
No. I'm over at my daughter's before I got hurt, and she was in a horrible car wreck recently, and thank God that she's still alive. And I'm in there cleaning her backyard, and I got bit twice by snakes.
What?
Looked down, I had a snake hanging on the edge of my skin, and at first it was just like, I looked down, here's a little grass snake about that long hanging onto my arm.
Wow.
And so I took it off, and I went in, got a little alcohol, cleaned it up, and I go back out, and I'm pulling the weeds around this deal. Next thing you know,
got another one. Huh?
Right here, whack, that thing just locked onto my hand. It didn't really hurt or anything, but I looked down here, another garden snake.
Bad as a bee sting, maybe, or not quite as bad?
Yeah, just like a little prick,
Yeah.
But it wasn't that, it's like playing with your dog when your dog gives you a little nip. And I looked down, I got another snake. I said, my gosh, how many snakes you got in the backyard?
I'm sure she liked hearing that, huh?
Yeah, so snakes didn't bother me, but I'm going to tell you what, one thing is don't go around Rick Wick with a snake. It's a bad scene.
I'm not happy about them either, so.
You got snakes out there at the house?
Yeah, I have a gun called the Snake Slayer by Bond Arms. You ever heard of that one? It just shoots 2 410 a buckshot or 45. I keep that around me all the time. We have chickens and ducks and all that, so,
What, you got the big rat snakes out there?
I have all kinds of stuff out there, man. I carry that weapon every time out in my property. I'm sure you don't do things like that, do you?
No.
Yeah, that little Bond's arm is a pretty sweet little weapon. You ever seen it? Yeah, he probably
The what?
has. Bond Arms. Have you?
No.
That's a Derringer.
Oh, yeah. I have seen your little Derringer.
Yeah, 410 buckshot. Or 45 long colt, too. It's a bad boy, man.
That'll take out a snake or two.
That's what it's called, Snake Slayer.
Is Maddie working today? Who do we have back in studio?
I think she's probably taking
It's me.
Why are you so quiet today, Maddie?
Yeah, come on.
Because
wake up.
I had the flu all week and it
that's
hurts to
right.
talk.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
My throat is extremely sore.
Oh, well, thanks for being here and suffering through it, unlike Kurt, who couldn't suffer through last Saturday.
I didn't really have a choice. My parents told me if I'm fever free, I got to go work. So
Well, we're going to call and thank your dad then for making you get up.
Now, what do you throw me under the bus for there?
What?
Give me that check back.
It's already deposited.
it was actually my mom that made me. My dad was like, do whatever you want.
Oh, well, no doubt. Daddy's little girl, let me tell you, that's the way it was with my daughter. She come in, hey, Mommy said I had to go to school. I got to go back to bed.
We have 30 seconds.
Thank you.
My boys, get out of that bed. Mom said I didn't have to go to school. Get up. Well, how come Amanda didn't? That's different. It's your sister. Yeah, spoiled rotten.
We all are somehow.
Oh, no doubt about it. Daddy's little girls, man, I'm going to tell you what. You ain't got a prayer.
Well, I was the youngest of three
Yeah, 5
boys,
seconds.
so I was kind of spoiled. I was going to be I'm the guy that's going to leave them empty nesting. So they tried to keep me around as long as possible.
Hello, this is your pilot speaking. We're currently taxiing out to the runway and getting ready for takeoff. I don't see any turbulence, and we should arrive at our destination safely and on time. Thank you for choosing the Automotive Edge Airways, and I hope you'll follow us and use our services again in the future.
Two 214-787-1190 is the number if you're looking for a car this weekend and you want to know where to go, who to see, what to do. 214-787-1190 or go to theautomotiveedge.com. Click on Ask Kurt. Leave me your name and number. I'll call you right when I get off air. Plus, please, please, please fill out that appraisal form if you have a trade-in. There were so many people that loved me this week that fill out that trade form and had already been out shopping. And we got them so much more. Now, I did have a few people that were quite upset. You know, here's the thing. In the last 3 years, people have been paying premium for cars because there was no inventory. And so your Platinum Series, your Elite Series, your top-of-the-line products that were bringing 10, 15, 20 grand over, those people are singing the blues right now. It's just not good. They're singing the blues. And I'm calling them back. I had one guy, $36,000 upside down. And he said, what do I do? I said, well.
He needs to call Harmon.
Whoa.
Maybe.
I don't know. Harmon could beat him out of that one.
I can't do that.
You know, when you and I were working together, we never saw that kind of negative equity, did we?
No.
Maybe 3, 4, 5 grand, max. But now 36.
You can get some rebates to cover some of that. But
That's right. And I just told him, I said, you need about $24,000 and I can take and get you in a lease. And at the end of that lease, that negative equity goes away. And he called me the other day and he goes, hey, I got that 24 grand. Get me out of this thing. And so he put the 24 grand against the vehicle. We carried the difference on a note, on a lease. And so he's got 3 payments. His payment is lower than what he was paying. And then at the end of 3 years, everything's washed, and he gets to start back over. And it just breaks your heart. But I told so many people.
Well, at least that was a good way out, that he was just didn't say, hey.
It was good he was able to do it.
Yeah. Hey, good luck at Windstar. Maybe you could just get out of it, right?
Yep. Can you imagine how many people, Harmon, are actually up there at Windstar trying to get themselves out of debt?
you'd be surprised. I mean, if you try to do it.
On their homes and their cars.
I sit out there on 35 and see the cars going all the way.
Where are you going? I'm going to get out of debt.
Yeah.
Buses full of all seniors going up there spending their senior checks,
We just moved into a new home, and the lady that lives behind us, 92 years old, her husband was a lieutenant general in the military, and he had passed, and so she walks over, and we're out in the driveway, and she goes, excuse me, and I look up behind, and she introduced herself. She goes, does anybody like to gamble? Kind of odd.
Yeah.
And Melinda goes, no, why? And she goes, well, I need someone to drive me to Windstar. She goes, I'll pay for your gas. I went, well, okay.
I got a neighbor that goes up there all the time, and we'll visit her a couple of days after I moved in over there. And she said, I want to show you something. She lifted up this chair seat. She said, you see that? And I seen all these bills laying there. And she said, I won that at Windstar, and tomorrow I'll probably lose it all.
Going back again,
Yeah.
right? Well,
So,
you don't have to nudge my wife very hard to get up there. I can tell you that. Just mention, kind of breathe the Windstar name, and it's already packed and going.
It's really all about the play and just playing it, just doing it.
Just
Yeah.
It's not about the money.
Yeah, I'm not a gambler. I have played their golf course up there, and a friend of mine, it was a big radio event, and I got to meet one of Toby Keith's producers. And we went in and ate at Toby Keith's restaurant, and he had him on the phone. He goes, I got Toby Keith on the phone. I'm like, BS, you don't have Toby Keith on the phone. He said, I do. I got on the phone. I said, hello. And he goes, hey, Kurt, how are you? I said, who's this? He said, Toby Keith. I went, yeah. I said, actually, I'm the president of the United States. Being a smart aleck. He goes, you don't think it's Toby Keith? And I went, okay, I'll play along. It was Toby Keith.
Ah,
And so the guy this guy walks up and goes, are you Kurt? And he says, yeah. He goes, come on in and pick out anything you want. And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, Toby told me to bring you back. I went, oh, crap, that was really Toby? So Greg got him back on the phone. I go, hey, Toby. He goes, oh, you believe in me now, huh, buddy? So we didn't gamble. We went up there and had a chicken fried steak enough to feed 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
And had a real good time. So one thing I want to do, we want to keep Harmon with us one more segment and talk to him and say a lot of people are going to find themselves, hopefully, but hopefully not. We know it's going to happen, in trouble. But let's be proactive instead of reactive. If you're starting to have that feeling that you're going to get behind on your mortgage, things are going to happen, start the process now. Don't wait till it's too late or you're so deep and in trouble that you look up and you're down in the bottom of a well screaming help and there's no rope. The rope only gets halfway down. If you're in a situation that's troubling and you're starting to feel it, and contact you now.
well, what I was going to ask him before we took a break is when you said 40 people were already getting foreclosed on, you can help them.
Yes.
So tell them what you would do once they get that notice.
Once you get that NOD, which is a notice of default, in Texas, it's a sheriff's sale.
Now, that would be a court hearing? Is that
No.
what that is? Oh,
In Texas, it's a non-judicial state.
okay.
Means you do not have to go to court to sue to get the right to pull your property.
Oh, okay.
Okay? They can just post
Just
it.
by non-payment.
They can just post it, and in 20 days after that is when the sale is. So that 20 days is all you have.
Okay.
So it's important to get a hold of me quickly.
Yeah.
Like today. Really the first time to do that is when you know that you're going to miss your next payment.
Yeah.
That's when you need to talk about
Right.
it. Don't wait till it happens because you're limited on time. If you have the time to go ahead and do the process and get your options available to you, then you know which ones of the options are good for you.
Right.
So when you get that and they call you, hey, I've got 20 days, let's say, or 15 days.
Yeah, the thing is you don't want to wait that
No,
long.
no.
Right.
But
if you're at that point,
at that point, let's talk it from that point.
when you're at that point, you say, I've got to sell the place in 20 days. Here's what your options are. Number one, you can try to do a loan modification that gives the loan officers at your mortgage companies an opportunity to re-amortize.
Can you
your
do that in 20 days?
You can do that, and that takes them about 10 days,
Wow.
about a week to 10 days. But in most cases, if you earn the money and they want to keep from getting the property in their inventory, I mean, banks are not in the inventory business. They're in the loan business.
Right.
They don't want your house. So if there's a way they can work it out where you can stay in your home, they'll send you back an approval. But once you get that takes about 2 weeks or 10 days to 2 weeks. Then you can go ahead and start making the payments on that. That also gives you the chance to stay in the house. And if you decide you want to sell it, it gives you time to go ahead and get it prepared to ready sellable.
Right.
Now you can do a traditional
Where
sale.
you're selling it and they're not just taking it from you and do what they want to with it, you
Exactly.
lose everything you got in it.
Exactly. And when they do take it, they use your equity to rehab the property to make it resellable.
Okay.
So why shouldn't you take that money and use it and sell it to somebody else instead of having the bank use your equity money
Right.
to resell it, right?
And that's where
And
you
walk
can
away
help.
with money.
Right. And that's where you can help them.
That's right. I can show them, get the loan modification. Now, if they decide they want to go ahead and sell it, I've got quick buyers that have just cash money that'll come in and probably give you 50, 60% of the value of the house that you get you done. In most cases, people have enough equity they can afford that loss of some of that equity. But they move their house, they get out, and the other thing is a deed in lieu. You can take the keys to the lender and say, hey, here's the keys to my house, I'm going to move, and just sign it off. That way it doesn't go to the courthouse to be auctioned off. You get away from that public disclosure part of it, and you don't lose that 200 points on your credit report. Yeah, you're going to lose your equity, but at least it keeps you from that public foreclosure.
Well, those are emergency issues there. So what you want to do is if you're in a position to where you're having a little trouble, struggling, get in touch with Harmon now.
When you know you miss that first payment,
yeah,
that's when you want to do it.
And that's Harmon Robinson, and that's 214-674-8388. Again, it's 214-674-8388. Or you can get him. Is that your email address?
HWR1945 at yahoo.com. And my website is HarmonRobinson.com.
Oh, that's easy enough.
Yeah.
And you'll find him also Monday. The people that handle my website will have Harmon's information up there, so you'll always find him at the AutomotiveEdge.com website.
Is that a cell number?
That is a cell number.
Yep, Rick Wick, that is his cell number.
And so a lot of people, when your nose starts running, all of a sudden you run to the store and you start buying your vitamin C and your cough medicine and everything else. When you know that, bad things happen to good people all the time. And when you see that, wow, I'm not going to make this payment on time, I won't be able to make that payment, get in touch with Harmon and look at your options, because everybody has options, believe it or not, especially when it comes to your home, because the amount of inventory available is low.
Yeah.
People are flooding to come to Texas to get out of the wackadoodle-doo states.
Right.
And so they need a home, and that's your expertise, is to get the thing back to market and help these people out where they're not walking away from their hard-earned life of payments where they could be putting a lot of cash in their pocket.
One more good option, and this is for seniors. You have reverse mortgages. If you're 62 years and older and you have at least 60, maybe 70, 80% equity, get your reverse mortgage. That means you can stay in your house, you can keep your equity, and you don't have to move.
Right.
Just that
Options.
simple. That's
And
options.
how does that work? What happens then? You just are you making payments off your equity to the home or what?
When you get a reverse mortgage, the lender qualifies you at being aged and qualifies your house to do that. They make the loan, pay off the old loan and the old mortgage company, and then they give you the option to either make a payment a month or you don't have to make a payment a month. That's what the reverse mortgage is. It's kind of like a HELOC without having to make payments. The only thing you're responsible for is your taxes and insurance and
There you
upkeep.
HarmonRobinson.com. That's HarmonRobinson at yahoo.com.
Well, first of all, let's spell it. It's HORMON, Robinson, ROBINSON.
That's right. Get in touch now, or if you know somebody, mom or dad or a friend or whatever, get them in touch with Harmon. I've known Harmon for over 20 years. I worked with him. I know his heart. I know his character and how things
30
work
seconds.
with him. He doesn't have to do this. This guy's retired. He enjoys helping people. That's the big difference here. He likes helping people. That's Harmon Robinson at yahoo.com.
Well, no, that's not right. It's HarmonRobinson.com, right? Your website is
That's right.
HarmonRobinson.com.
That's right.
But his email is hwr1945 at yahoo.com.
Yeah, HarmonRobinson.com. I don't keep saying Yahoo. Yahoo!
Well, it's
HarmonRobinson.com. Harmon, thanks
you,
for
buddy.
coming out. We're going to have
Appreciate
him back again, and we'll keep everybody connected. It's another facet of the Automotive Edge radio show, helping people so in turn you can help others. We save you money, pay it forward. If we save you time, go volunteer. Quick break, 214-787-1190. I'm Kurt Chase with the great one, Big Wheel Bo Carver. We'll be right back.
Oh, great job, my man. Nice meeting you, too. I'm going to holler at you and meet you up at Sanger one day. And,
Yeah, come on.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I'll buy. Yeah, we're close. That little steakhouse during the lunch is fantastic. We are here at the El Dorado Chevy dealership in McKinney, Texas. So come out and see us. We'll be here till the noon hour. We have we're here on Talk Radio 1190 KFXR on the AM dial from till 10 a.m. Then we switch channels and we will go to 97.1 FM The Freak. And then at that 10 o'clock hour, we will switch. Also, we will shut down the live feed on our Facebook page and on YouTube. And then we will reboot to give us a chance to reboot to the other station, 97.1 FM The Freak. So I hope you'll come back and join us when we do. We always have extra people that join us in that other hour, and I hope you'll come back from that hour from the time we're on now. So we'd love for y'all to stay part of what we're doing and being involved in our broadcast. You can always make comments. You can call in the show, 214-787-1190. And that's our AM station, the Talk Radio 1190 station. Then we'll be having a different different call-in number when we switch the FM station. Don't get too far over there. You won't be in the camera.
Bo?
Yes. You there?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I do.
We have a caller named Rick. Do you know who Rick is?
He's going to need to hear this.
Mr. Chase?
Give him that. Yes. Yeah, that one. That's his. He's going to need to hear this. Yes, and I know who it is. Put him on when we come on.
Okay, I have him on hold.
All right, thanks.
You're already stirring up the phone lines, Harmon.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
All right. We're rocking today here on Talk Radio 1190 and on the Facebook feed. We appreciate y'all being a part
1
of
minute.
this.
Charlie Davis, how are you, my brother?
Charlie Davis.
What's up, brother? Good.
How you liking the new camera? You probably can't tell any difference, huh?
I like it. I like all the your little toys that you have there on your remote.
How about that? And it's a lot clearer, have you noticed?
Yeah, good picture. Hey, Charlie, we need to hook up. Me and RD going to drive up to Oklahoma and see Alan. Make a weekend ride up there, the three of us. That'd be a
30
treat
seconds.
right there.
We are at El Dorado Chevrolet in McKinney, Texas, and this place is really starting to rock right now. So you'll want to come up here and take advantage of some of their Easter specials. And there's a red Easter egg sitting right here for $118,000 right here in the showroom floor. Big old red Easter egg.
Oh, yeah.
Come crack it open and drive it right out.
You know what? I've never, out of all the Corvettes that I've owned, I've never owned a bright red one.
That's pretty, though.
It's beautiful.
Very pretty.
I've always bought the different colors.
Well, red always gets you pulled over the most.
Yep, I'm ordering my new one next month. And I'm ordering a cool one.
You take me for a ride, though, won't you?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I had to really threaten him for me to get a ride.
Well, no, we did a hamburger
but
run in
it was a great, and that's last
That was
time
a
I
great
got in.
time.
It was awesome.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Ed Radio Show, helping you with all your automotive needs, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop. We are here to help. Who do we have on the phone line with us?
Your favorite friend, Rick Wick.
Hey, brother, how are
we
you?
stirred some trouble up down in Houston, didn't we?
I figured I better call in to defend myself. You know, I wish I had Kurt Chase money.
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't be retired in spring. I'd be in the Bahamas.
Hey, Matt Ewison texted me. He goes, now that Rick's retired, what kind of business card does he show people?
Got a golf club on it?
Yeah.
We had a good time. We're sitting here with Harmon, and regardless of what everybody said, we had a lot of fun in the car business together.
Oh, yeah. That's the only way to make it fun.
That's right. So how is it being a grandpa and retired down there in Houston?
It's great, man. I'm sitting in the backyard right now, and grandkids stayed overnight, and they're out playing in the sand pit.
There we go.
Well, Harmon's still with us. He's not on the screen, but he can hear you. So if you want to say something to him, he can talk back to you as well.
Harmon, how you doing, buddy? Go ahead. God dang, you talk about a blast from the past.
I'm having a good time. I think last time I saw you was at the voting line back in 2016, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was probably when you were still over there at Bill Utter, wasn't it?
I was there. I was still there. Yeah, I quit that about 3 years ago and just went into real estate completely full time. And I'm, sit at home when I don't do that.
That's about what the time you did, Rick, wasn't it about 3 years ago?
Do what?
It was about the time you got out, right? About 3 years ago?
No, I retired February of 23, so I just had my year anniversary.
Oh, okay. Well, I've missed you.
Yeah.
It seemed like 3
Hey,
years.
Rick, why don't you go ahead and get a food truck, and we'll call it Rick's Margaritas. You'll make a killing because you make the best margarita around. Melinda still talks about it, going, I still will never get over Rick's Margaritas. Buddy, we got something going on there. When you got nothing to do, we'll ride around your truck and sell margaritas.
Yeah, that'll help your back feel better.
Oh, I'm telling you what. I'm so excited about this surgery next week. I can't wait. So how is the retired life? Do you miss the auto industry at all, Rick?
No.
I want you to think about it for just
not at all.
You know what? I was just down in Austin because we're going to be launching on another radio station. The guy goes, "Hey, Rick's back in the car business." I'm like, "No, he's not." He said, "Yeah, he's running a dealership in Houston." I went, "No way that he's running a dealership in Houston." So it's good to confirm that you're done. You're fully retired.
Yeah. Matter of fact, after 19 years there at Classic in Denton, and then I talked to Richard Allen a couple months ago, and he said, "Man, you're going to get back into business. You'd be a great consultant. You should just go in there. You go in there and tell the dealer whatever the customer says it's right. Take care of them, and you be successful." That's true. But I'm enjoying life. I could sleep in till 7:30, have a cup of coffee, and then take my nap.
At 9 o'clock.
So let me ask you: one of these big auto groups, comes a calling with a big fat checkbook. Are you saying yes or no?
Capital N, capital O.
Took a little longer to answer that one, didn't it?
Yeah.
Depends on how fat that checkbook is, maybe. Huh?
Well, next time Melinda and I are down in Houston, we need to get with you and your lovely wife and say hello.
Yeah, do it. Y'all be safe and all your listeners, and have a happy Easter, and God bless all.
God bless you, Rick. Great talking to you, buddy. Take care.
Appreciate it.
All right.
214-787-1190. Let's jump into some automotive news. And remember, here at the top of the hour, 10 o'clock, we flip over to 97.1 The Freak FM, and would love to have you stay with us. Here's the thing. One of the things that's going on is there is so much new product coming out next year. The cool thing is how many ICE cars are coming out. I don't know why everybody flipped to ICE cars, which is internal combustion engine gas cars, gasoline engines. But now all of a sudden, I guess that's one of these things, this younger generation, let's call them ICE, internal combustion engine, versus the guys that show up and at your door and throw you out of the country. But when I look, there are 47 complete renovations and new vehicles combined coming out in 2025. And so people are asking me, so what does that do to the resale value of what is currently on the market? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I have a lot of people are going, well, I heard this manufacturer's coming out with this, or this manufacturer's coming out with that. What does that do to my current model? Absolutely nothing. Now, if you back up 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I remember when the new Accord came out, and people that had the old Accord, it changed the books, $3,000-$4,000. Oh my gosh, I should have traded sooner. Well, yeah, you should have. Now it's a different deal. And I did hear a salesman the other day. I was at a dealership, and the guy goes, "Oh man, you're driving that old body style." I walked right up to that guy and I said, "You know what? You need to leave now." And I handed him my business card, and he goes, "What?" And I said, "Look, I've got a sponsor. Go over and see them. They'll never tell you that, because you have not lost value, because this product has a totally redesigned model. If that car is clean and the miles are right, it's bringing all the money, period. It's got nothing to do with model changeover. Now, if you have a model that flat didn't sell, well, you're in trouble the day you bought it. Let's just get that out of the way. If you bought a car, and I'll go back to the old story when they had the PT Cruisers out. Chrysler could not put enough PT Cruisers on the road or to the dealers. They wound up with a 380-day supply. Think about that. They didn't have to build another one for 370 days, and the dealers would have had enough to sell. So what did they do? They put, at the time, one of the largest rebates ever seen on a vehicle on it, which was $5,000 plus the discounts, like $7,500 off, and they blew those vehicles out, and they were gone. And the PT Cruiser never came back. And you look at the Honda Element. Honda Element wound up with a 140-day supply. What they do? They quit building the Honda Element. They blew all that product off the lot, and they came out with the Pilot. So that's what I always go back to say is let the market delegate the market. If the consumer isn't going to buy it, the manufacturer has to figure out a way to supplement the dealer to get rid of it, and then just let that vehicle go off to the sunset. Now, some manufacturers are very smart. They build specialty vehicles that come out periodically, like the Honda S2000. You couldn't get them in fast enough. They sold very quickly. You look at the used car market, they're killing it. FJ Cruisers with Toyota, they come in for a certain amount of time, faded out. You go look at a pre-owned FJ Cruiser, they're bringing all the money. So there are specialty cars out there that still do very, very well, but that's not the norm. But we the people, and I love when I hear people say we the people, decide and should decide and only decide what we want to buy and drive, not the federal government. That's not the federal government. That's kind of communistic, a little commie when you start going, here's what you have to drive. Here's what we want you to be in. Here's what needs to be in every household. It's just not right. 535 people telling how many people? 334 million people what they should be driving, eating, where they should be going to school, when they should be going to school. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And handing out money left and right. You know how many billions of COVID dollars have gone and been wasted? They have no idea where it is. Gone.
Well, that's just one place they don't know where money went, and there's many other places.
Well, I just heard that there was all these school districts and what they were using COVID money for, and it's not for the reason they were given COVID money. Then you return the money. That's our money. It's not your money. It's we the people's money. And I have a hard time with this whole thing. The auto industry is the largest employer in the world, by far. And why do you want to screw with that? So Uncle Joe can give everybody a job building solar panels? Did you see what happened to that solar farm out west when the hail hit it? It demolished 75% of it.
Oh, wow.
Gone. Now who's going to have to pay for that? We the people. It's just not a good thing. That's why I can't stress enough. November is coming quickly. Let's vote the right people in and get rid of all the wackadoodle-doos that are causing debt. Debt. I love when Warren Buffett said he could take care of the debt in 30 minutes.
Boy, that'd be sweet.
And actually, he said 5 minutes, I believe. He said, once you go above 3% of GDP, you're fired. Once your spending goes above GDP, you are fired. And he goes, I guarantee you'll clean this whole thing up.
Yeah.
It would be over in a heartbeat. That they're not even held accountable.
No.
And so leave the auto industry alone. We, the people, want to decide. That's why you saw different manufacturers. That's why you saw Yugo go away. It wasn't working. That's why you saw Geo go away. That's why you saw Saab leave the United States. That's why a Hummer went away. All these different manufacturers disappeared because the American people, we the people, said we didn't want to drive it.
1 minute.
We didn't want to own it. It wasn't going in our driveway. So what they do, they went back home. Or totally dissolved and quit building that vehicle. And you think people with $35 trillion in debt increasing are smart enough to tell us to do anything? They're not smart enough to tell us how to pick our nose and scratch our butts, much less anything else.
I bet you they do a good job of that.
They do a great job of that.
Their own.
Most of them are sitting in their office playing Candy Crush. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Let's take a quick break. We're going to pay some bills. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
And thanks, Facebook, for being a part of our broadcast today. We are here live at El Dorado Chevrolet and in McKinney, Texas. And the sun is poking out really nice. And it's going to be a beautiful day here in North Texas. So if you're in the surrounding area, you should make a nice little trip up here to El Dorado. You can be here in no time, no matter where you are in the Metroplex for sure, or even southern Oklahoma. You can be here no time. So you can get here and check out all the great deals they've got at the El Dorado Chevrolet and El Dorado Mazda. So come on out and see what's shaking.
Hey, good morning, Kevin Vines. Good people right there. There's a good car man. I've known Kevin for many, many years. And plus he gives golf lessons on the golf course.
How about that?
Yep.
On the golf course?
Yeah, he's a good people. I think he's back home at one of the original dealerships that he started at, if I believe. And good morning to Greg and my sweet dear friend Cindy. You know, she put together like a tea for all the girls from Nimitz. And I said, what happened to the guys? I drink tea.
Well.
So I think, and then all the guys started chiming in.
But are you a sipper? A tea sipper? Not
I could be.
You could be a tea drinker. That might have been for the tea sippers.
Yeah, I guess so. Croissants and tea. Truffles and tea.
Truffles and tea.
Yeah, I'd like to hang out with all the girls from Nimitz High School. We had a.
You did it one time, didn't you?
I did.
And they actually knew you from the back end too, didn't they?
Well, some did. You did.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a different day in 1977 at Nimitz High School. Somebody drove through the circular drive and mooned the entire drill team. Now, I don't know who it was, but I got blamed for it. So
Kevin says he's up at in Decatur.
Yep. Yeah, I believe that's one of the places where you again, there's no help for your golf swing. Wow. Now here I'm saying such nice things about my buddy. Yeah. And what does he tell me? I got a horrible golf swing.
Well, he's trying to just be honest, isn't he?
He is.
Well, he's left-handed, number one. What do you expect out of that? Yeah, that's goofy looking anyway. So,
well, Phil Mickelson's a great golfer.
Well, I don't care about Phil Mickelson. We're talking about you.
Now, Kevin's going to post, you ain't no Phil Mickelson. So let me go ahead and get that out of the way, Kevin.
Go ahead and do it. We're going to say it anyway and beat you to the punch.
That's right. Yeah, I've known Kevin for many, 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 many years, and he's good people. He worked up there with Rick.
Oh, that's cool.
At Classic, yeah, he was his fleet manager there, and then he worked over with my wife over at Grapevine, and now he's back home.
Back in Decatur. That's not far from me. I'm in Ponder.
Where I started. I love you too, brother.
We're on a short break here on Talk
Flight 101. Please extinguish all cigarettes and cigars. Place your seats in the upright position and fasten your seatbelts. Please do not try to exit through the exit door.
3, 2, 1.
Warning. The information heard here on the Automotive Edge radio show may lead you to find a wealth of knowledge that could possibly save you time and money. If any of this information causes you to be bothered or upset, please sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and seek immediate help. Now, here's your host of the Automotive Edge radio show, Kurt Chase.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Ed Radio Show, helping you with all your automotive needs. So, you know what? We all every week, and remember, if you have an automotive need, let me get this out of the way real quick. Go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, leave me your name and number, and I will be with you from hello to congratulations. I don't charge a dime. I don't broker with the dealership. We haven't in the 20 years. I have not accepted a dime for my service from you or the dealership, period. I have sponsors that pay to be on the show, that pay for my endorsements. That's it, and it frees me up 6 days a week to help you, the listener, and that's it. Not one penny, not one nickel, not one dime, and there have been some checks written. 100% goes into our Adopt a Teacher program. So I tell you, if we save you time, volunteer, we save you money, pay it forward, and if you want to help me with my Adopt a Teacher program, we'll tell you how you can do that as well. 214-787-1190. Now, every month, every week, we talk about funny laws still on the books. You ready? I found some real doozies.
Oh, boy, here we go.
So, here we go. In Delaware.
What did Delaware?
You're not going to believe this. You can sell artificial limbs, but you can't sell your wheelchair.
Does that category like an automobile, like because it's got wheels?
I guess so.
You can't sell it like
In
that.
Mobile, Alabama, silly strings and snap pops are illegal.
In Alabama?
You know what snap pops are, don't you?
Yeah, like for...
You know, the things you throw on the ground, they
Oh,
pop.
yes. I thought everything was legal in Alabama.
Yeah. In California, the home of
Wackadoodle-doos.
Wackadoodle-doos, you can't eat jumping frogs.
How long do you have to wait to see if they're jumping or not?
I don't know. You can eat pond frogs. You can eat bullfrogs.
But don't
all frogs jump?
Yes, they do. I
get
guess
it.
you can't eat any frogs. But
Well,
that's a delicatessen in a lot of places.
In 1961, the great folks in Louisiana, their legislation said it's illegal to eat fried chicken with a fork.
Yeah, they wouldn't eat it with a fork anyway. They're going to slap it with their hands.
Can you
and go.
imagine? This is what we pay our lawmakers to do. Can't eat fried chicken with a fork.
Yeah.
In Maine, wow, this is still on the law. You cannot dance in a bar in Maine unless you have a special amusement license.
Oh, they're looking all kinds of ways to collect tax money, aren't they?
You remember in Seinfeld when the girl was dancing?
Oh, yeah, Elaine.
So they must have seen her dance and then made that law.
Yeah, that law needed to be passed on her.
That's
for
right.
Sure.
In Virginia. Wow. Wow.
Can you even say what that happens in Virginia?
You can't have sex out of wedlock.
Boy, I'm surprised there's anybody even allowed to roam in Virginia. They'd all be
But
locked
you know what
up.
the state slogan is?
What?
Virginia is for lovers. I'm going.
Yeah, well, there's a catch to that, isn't it?
And I said, what if you do? And he goes, well, if you turn somebody in, that means you're a part of it.
That's right.
Both of you are going to jail. Wow.
A lot of locked up.
Get this. I didn't know this, but in Texas,
But it might be worth it.
you don't have to be present for your own wedding.
If I'd have known that.
Do you know that, Armin?
If I'd have known that, I would have. I'd have tried to pull that off myself.
So here's the deal. Go to Virginia, don't have sex, and then just get married in Texas and you don't have to show up.
Who's going to say that I do for you? Just well, as you can get a
Your
divorce.
proxy.
You can get a divorce that way.
Your proxy.
You don't have to be there for your divorce, so why not for the marriage?
And they said, well, who goes on honeymoon? I said, your proxy. Yeah. There you go. 214-787-1190. I want to thank Mark for sending those over to me and letting people know that the laws are still on the books.
You know, I got something I want to bring up that I thought about the other day that I know that this is going to be shocking to people, maybe 50 and under, but probably at least 40 and under. This is probably might be a surprise to you. But back in the day when there was 4 doors, that in the back seat, in the doors, was ashtrays.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And guess
The
what
little
was in,
silver ones, you lifted the lid
and
up.
what was in the ashtray?
A lighter.
A cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that to somebody. They go like, "You nuts? You know what are you talking about?"
Oh, yeah.
No.
Remember that little silver thing? It'd cut you, too. If you didn't lift that thing right, it'd cut your finger.
And you just press the thing down.
yeah.
That little cigarette lighter would pop out and be red as all I get
Oh,
out.
yeah. Had all them coils in there.
And had all the kids in the back seat.
That's right. You know, it's amazing that we didn't burn my mom's car down or each other with
Doing all
7 of
that
us.
stuff. Light
right.
leaves. Didn't you ever light leaves with them?
Oh, sure.
Get in the light leaves, get fires
We used to
going.
smoke grapevine.
Grapevine. Oh, that's pretty good.
You ever heard of that? Oh, yeah. You take the grapevine, the vines that dry out, and it was hollow, and you sit around. We sit on. We had this little easement. We'd all be sitting there. And
Like, what,
all of a
8
sudden-
years old?
I remember first time my dad, he comes down and, hey, Dad's coming. So we had that thick St. Augustine. You stick the grapevine down in the dirt, and he goes, I thought I saw smoke coming down the street. We're looking at each other like, what are you talking about, Pop?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Hey, here's an interesting numbers. Out of 16,000 people surveyed, And these are people that have owned cars for 15 years or longer. Do you think they prefer the dealership service department or independent service departments?
After 15 years of that particular car?
Yep. Harmon, you can bring your microphone
Yeah,
down.
bring
You can
them-
chime in, too.
yeah.
You've been in the car business. Out of 16,000 people, they sent them all these questionnaires about service and cost and fairness, done right the first time, all this stuff. Do you think that more people were happier at the dealership or at the independent service departments?
My natural instinct would say at a independent service place, but you asking the question makes me think they probably said the dealership.
Well, I think it depends on when it was done, 50 years ago or today. If it's 50 years ago, it'd be their independent garage. I'd say today it's probably a dealership.
Okay.
And
Well,
what's the answer?
consumers were rated repair shops in 12 categories: honesty, price, quality of work, amount of time it took to complete the repairs, communication about your repair, if the problem was fixed right the first time, accuracy of the initial cost estimate, shop's willingness to negotiate on the price, presence of free perks with service such as car washes, loaner cars, shuttle service, whether there were discounts available, proximity or convenience of the shop's location, and presence of guarantees or warranties for work done. So there's the 12 categories, okay? It says the findings show independent repair shops from the Automatic Service Survey Company facilities received top scores of overall satisfaction.
How about that?
Independence. I was with you two guys. So when I read this, and what I do is I cover up the bottom of the article. So, because I don't want to go automatically answer. I went dealerships. Because the dealership that, a lot of them now, they've gotten really smart where they have a good loan fleet. And they always wash your car and get it ready. You'll see them step out and pull the paper out of the car mats.
And customer service is a real big deal now.
Yeah.
I mean, you get those surveys, and you want to make those surveys perfect. Well, I would think the push would be to get that in there now.
Yep. It said independent service shop received the highest scores for satisfaction with price. They also were rated favorably for their willingness to negotiate the price of a repair. Independent facilities, AAA Car Care plus Firestone Complete Auto Care were the only shops with favorable ratings. So it was the big chains, not the independents, and then the dealerships actually scored higher than the independent shops. There you go. 214-787-1190. We got another segment coming up before we flip over to 97.1 The Freak FM. You can watch us here on the Automotive Edge Facebook page, Bo Carver Facebook page, Kurt Chase, Shifting Gears, and now YouTube.
Yes, sir.
YouTubers. We're YouTubers. You ever think we'd have a title like that? Being a YouTuber.
we tubing now.
We tubing now. Let's take a quick break. 214-787-1190. I'm Kurt Chase with the great one, Big Wheel Bo Carver. We'll be right back.
Y'all keep talking. I got to take a quick break. Keep talking.
Okay. Let's get together. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Remember, sign up for the newsletter. We got some big events coming up this next month. One of them is April 20th, Connor's Car Show in Keller, Texas. And there's going to be plenty of parking. The live church right across the street, they're going to be shuttling people over to the car show. We're expecting 680 cars at Connor's Car Show this year. 680, I think. I don't know who told me that number. Last year was about 680. This will be our 9th year hanging out with the folks over at Connor's Car Show. Ty Gentman, what a godsend he is. His son Connor has Down syndrome, and 100% of the money raised, one of them, out of the 4 charities, one of them is the hospital that has been taking care of Connor. And it is a great time of fellowship. And they got the crawfish crawl right next door. So if you like crawfish, or they're going to have all sorts of food trucks and goodie trucks and snack trucks and ice cream, come on out. Put that on your calendar. April 20th, we'll be there. You ought to come out and join us, Harmon.
I will.
Come join us. Check out some great. It'll be a great time of fellowship. if anything, you're going to meet great people that love to talk cars, that love to talk and hang out and do their thing. April 20th, Connor's Car Show in Keller. Put that on your calendar. We get fired up at 8 in the morning. We'll be on air till noon. They have a big auction, and 100% of the proceeds go to Connor's charities that they've established 100%. And that's why we're so excited about being a part of it. When I met the first time with Ty Gentman, and he opened up his books and said, here's the money we bring in. At the time, they were paying the police department. Now everything goes to the charities. Once all the money comes in, they figure everything out. They go around and disperse these checks. And this man has a heart of gold. Connor's Car Show, April 20th. You going to be there, Bo?
I'm going to try to work on it.
Okay. I didn't know if you were I thought you were on stage at La Bear, Las Vegas. That day.
I'm gonna have to be flown in a helicopter. They're gonna drop me right in on everybody.
I got you. So if you have that senior bingo hall, Bo's up for dancing and entertaining at those.
I like them better than 80 and up because I look a whole lot younger.
Yep. So he's got the Bo Carver Speedos, and
exactly.
he'll shake it up and get the bingos going.
And, Daryl wanted to know about your surgery on your back, like what back,
Yeah, I fell last Friday, and I fractured my L1 and L2 vertebrae. Yeah. And they now have a process to go in and put glue on them and seal them because I didn't know that bones bled. Didn't know that.
Boy, I got some places they could put some glue.
Yeah, I know where, too. So anyway, and I compressed some muscles in my lower back, and I came home, and my daughter was in a terrible car accident. I've been spending day after day out there with her, and I came home. There was this terrible stench in my kitchen. Well, it was flooded underneath the wood, and they had all these dryers and humidifiers in there, and they had everything all buckled and taped and put aside. And they come out and redid it and pulled some of the dryers up, and I wound up tripping over one, went straight up in the air and down, stepped on the dog gate, and it slid me out. And next thing you know, I'm in the ER and blah, blah, blah. But they said it's a very simple process. They make a couple of small incisions, put glue over the vertebrae, and it's going to cut my downtime by 75%.
That's sweet.
Yep.
And a great day for the health industry for us folk.
That's right. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Ed radio show helping you with all your automotive needs. Here's something. The surveys show that the most loyalty brand owners of these models will always go to the dealership, the higher percentage. Number one was Tesla, 89%, because there's no shops for Tesla. So let's get that out of the way. Cadillac, 61%. Audi, 54%. Ram, 54%. Subaru, 52%. These people, they're going to the dealers to get their vehicles worked on. Least likely, Hyundai, Jeep, and on and on and on and on. But those were the highest ones.
I would thought Honda would.
What do you think the average repair cost on a car is these days?
I'm going to say probably about $575.
All right. The price is right. We'll go over here to Harmon.
About $1,000.
We got her close. $700. $700.
Could split the difference, and we'd have a car repair.
Yep. So, anyway, how do you find a good repair shop? Let me help you with that.
Go to theautomotiveedge.com and click on Ask Kurt.
That's right.
That's what you do.
Because, we've had Driver's Edge Auto Repair on for 20 years, and we love these guys. They put a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on it, and they're always there on call for your automotive needs. And they do the big transmission jobs and the big motor job. But here, they don't winterize. They don't summarize. They only do the work necessary at the time. And so, but when it comes to Porsche, when it comes to Mercedes, when it comes to BMW, when it comes to these high-performance vehicles, we still have shops that are going to work on those for you. So you're never out in the cold. We will make sure that you have the right people. But when you go to a shop, how long you guys been in business? Do you have insurance? What if it falls off the rack? How are you going to take care of me? How much do you cover if it does? Do you have ASE certified mechanics?
Can they get OEM parts? Maybe?
Can they get very great? That was my next point. Way to be Bo Carver.
Hey, I had a little
Do you
sip
think
of
you
Dr.
deserve
Pepper.
a raise for that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. Now that
So
you're talking.
OEM parts, which is the equipment that the manufacturer assembled your car with, putting them on your car. And these are the kind of things that you want to know.
And how about getting the old part back? Maybe seeing about getting that back, like they sometimes used to do where they car I've been to places where they say your old parts in your back floorboard or something.
Yeah, well, now your alternator they turn in for the core.
Okay.
The battery they turn in for the core.
I gotcha.
There's some parts on there that they turn in because they have a core swap.
Right.
If you think about it, I don't know the last time you bought an alternator, but you leave that core deposit, and then when you bring about the old alternator, then you get your core deposit back.
Usually, if it's a warranty item, the warranty company will want to keep it.
That's right. So if you're under warranty and you go to a dealership, they have a warranty bin where the manufacturer goes, okay, yeah, they did take a warranty part off and put a new part on. And so you just want to ask the right questions. And do you have discount coupons? If I spend this, which, if you go to mydriversedge.com, that's mydriversedge.com, you see all the coupons and discounts. If you spend this, you get a $100 discount. You spend this, you get a $200 discount. You spend this, $75 discount, whatever it's going to be based on the amount of money that you spend on a repair. And they will beat any discounted price on tires. Big thing. When you walk in, I remember, I don't know how long ago we started seeing price matching on TV. Bringing any price in. I think that was Circuit City that started that first, that if you had a price, you could walk in. Remember the little kid walked in and he bought the Walkman?
Right.
And the guy charged me, he goes, no, hang on a second, I have this ad. And he hands the kid back so much money. Well, do you have that at your facility? And so there's things that you need to be asking versus just walking in going, hey, I have a problem. And then your car disappears and they come back with a laundry list of things that need to be done. And a lot of it's just preventative maintenance. I saw a car the other day. It had 61,000 miles on it, and they were doing a 75,000-mile maintenance. And so luckily, the lady listens to the radio show, and she sent me the list and went, what do you think? I said, how many miles are on your car? She said, 61,000. I said, then why are you doing 75,000-mile maintenance? Well, I don't know. They told me I needed, and so I called the place, and they said, well, we like to talk to people about their driving habits. And I said, wait a minute here. This lady puts 8,000 miles a year on her car. What does driving habits got to do with doing a 75,000-mile maintenance on it? The guy hung up on me. I said, go get your car. And then they tried to charge her $250 diagnostic. And then we got that squashed as well. So
we got to go.
The shop is important. Flip everybody over to 97.1 FM The Freak. That's 97.1 FM The Freak. Thanks for everybody joining us on the live. Now we're going to shut everything down. That doesn't mean we're going away, and then we're going to reboot.
That means FM. That means the station. That means our Facebook feeds and our YouTube feed. That'll be shut down and rebooted. So join us on 97.1 FM, the radio station, and then on our Facebook feeds and YouTube after we reboot.
We'll be right back. Don't go away.
And Facebook, we're going to shut down, and so join us back. We'll be back shortly after the reboot. Thank you. Love you. And if you don't join us back, still have a good Easter.